Let's talk about poetry today and the resources that I will be using for my upcoming ninth grader. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy and I am a 10-year, I think coming up on 10-year homeschooling mom. And we are, I don't want to say loosely, but mostly Charlotte Mason leaning family. And we are going to be adding in enrichments. And I want to do some more videos about some of the enrichments that we will be doing in the future. But today I'm going to focus on poetry and the resources that I purchased to teach poetry. So poetry is going to be taught about once a week in our homeschool for about 5 to 10 minutes. These enrichment things are like once a week type things and are not going to take very long, but it is something that my son is interested in. He really likes poetry and I thought it would be a great thing just to add into his school routine. So I asked him who he wanted to study and I let him pick out a poet. Unfortunately, they did not have on the Simply Charlotte Mason site a poetry book that was already done from this poet. That's okay though. I did go ahead and purchase one though from Simply Charlotte Mason because I wanted to see how this was outlined. I watched some of the videos on the Simply Charlotte Mason podcast video channel here on YouTube, and I think it was just easier for me to kind of see the layout. These weren't very expensive at all. So I purchased one and I wanted to just see the setup, okay? Because I can replicate anything if I see a setup, right? So if I see how this is done, I can easily make my own from it. So I went ahead and I purchased Robert Louis Stevenson, and it's just so easy because like the schedule is right here. I know that that's like a glare, but it's like really kind of stormy outside, so I kind of had to lighten up everything, so it's really hard to see. I apologize. But there is a schedule like right here for the entire year. So there's a 36-week schedule right in the front. So that makes it easy. And then there's like a breakdown of how to kind of go through each thing, like what you're supposed to do. And then you have all the poems for the rest of the book. This is a really, really small book, okay? So I asked my son who he wanted to study and he said Robert Frost. So I purchased 2 Robert Frost books. So I purchased this first one. It is so pretty. It's got the gold pages. It has a ribbon bookmark, and this is a collection of poems by Robert Frost. I got it on Amazon like I get everything else on Amazon. And it has a ton of different poems broken up here in the very front. And it also has a little bit of like an introduction to who he was, which is really important because you're not just supposed to study the poems when you do Charlotte Mason poetry. You're supposed to study the poet himself. So that is a really great item there. I love this book so far, and I have found just last night my son was curled up with this book reading it, so I thought that was really neat. So another book that I bought, it looks like a picture book, I know, but this one is Poetry for Young People by Robert Frost. And this one has illustrations in it, like these really pretty watercolor illustrations. I love this. And there's a lot of seasonal poems in this. And one of the reasons why my son likes Robert Frost is because he writes a lot about nature. And he really, really enjoys that. He is a nature kid. Like, he loves it. So in the front, there's also some more biography type information here, which is really good because we're going to be kind of going back and forth between biography type things and poems. And then it's broken up in summer, fall, winter, and spring inside of this book. So I did a little bit of research and I started going through Robert Frost poems. And what I did was I went to the planning section of my planner, which is A Simple Plan by Mardell. And in the planning pages, they have this yearly overview right here. And everything is broken up into like 36-week chunks. And what I did was each week I put what poem or what part of his biography we would be studying for that 5 to 10 minute block. So I broke up the poems by subject and season, and I just started adding them in. And really, I want to say I used this book a little bit more than the other book, although the other book has some really great poems in it. I think I used this one a little bit more. He's got a ton of really great poems in here, and I just put in the poems inside of these 36-week blocks, and each week has a block in it, and I just put loosely what I thought we would be studying. So I don't have to like hardline follow it just because I put it in my planner, and I put it in pencil so I can always erase it. So I don't like to make enrichments that, I don't know, complicated, for lack of a better word. I don't like to complicate things like this because it's really not complicated. This is supposed to be easy, relaxing things that is just supposed to be something beautiful for his mind. It's just food for his mind. So I don't want to do a hard line thing on there. I don't want to write it in pen. I'm just writing it in pencil. I can always erase it. I can always change it, you know, so as we're going along throughout the year, if I decide that we want to stay with one poem a little bit longer, or we want to memorize it maybe, then we'll do that. And I think what I'll do for exam week, which is every 12 weeks, I think for exam week, I will pick one of the poems and have him memorize it and write it. So I think that that's what I'll do. Either that, or either he'll orally tell it back to me, or we will do some kind of like written narration of the poem, or maybe like written narration of his biography. I haven't decided yet on what we're gonna do for exam week, but again, I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's just poetry. You know what I mean? Like, let's not overcomplicate simple things. But yeah, that's poetry. Again, short, sweet little video, nothing too crazy or complicated here, just some beautiful books that we are going to add in once a week. We're not going to make this huge. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but again, he loves Robert Frost. He likes poetry. My son has written poems himself, and I think reading the poems of good poets and learning about them, learning their writing style is going to help him write better poetry himself. So that's all I have for this one. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy homeschooling.